Hello. Today is the 25-year anniversary of WCW Fall Brawl 1999. So, to celebrate, we're going to watch it together and see how it's aged. This is certainly... We're moving into the very interesting era of WCW history. You know, like, I don't know how far in we are at this point, to be perfectly honest. So I guess we'll find out. But, I want to warn you ahead of time, nice and early in the video. I won't be showing this event on screen because copyright law is a thing. So you will need to load up your own copy of the WWE Network or Peacock or whatever your international version is, and watch it on that whilst listening to me commentate on this video at the same time. So on a different monitor or a different device or what have you. So yeah, first things first, pause this video, go get yourself set up with WCW Fall Brawl 1999 paused at 0000, and then unpause my YouTube video when you're ready to play, basically. Alright, as I can be paused, I'm going to assume everyone's gone and done that, and now we're going to watch the show. So what I will do in a second is I will count down from 3. I'll go 3, 2, 1. Then you should hear a click, a faint click. That'll be me pressing the play button. Try and time yourself pressing the play button with that. I will also leave like 5 seconds or so of the footage on the screen so that you can see whether you're in sync to your satisfaction or not. So yeah. Let's go. So, ready? Get ready to click play in 3, 2, 1. Okay, hopefully that was loud enough, but as you can see, let's keep the timer on the screen. And fade. And fade. You can trust me, says Hulk Hogan to Sting. Hulk Hogan and Sting in 1999 is a wild main event, honestly. This is quite symptomatic of WCW's unwillingness to move on to newer stars, younger stars. Or inability because of backstage politics. Who was the man who attacked Sting? Will we find out on this show? I don't really remember this show. I think I'd already kind of mostly checked out of WCW by this point. I know my first WWF event was November 1999, but I think I was like mostly not paying attention to WCW by now already, because I don't remember this from being a kid. Maybe I did watch it and I just don't remember it. My memory isn't the best. But I know I would have been at high school by now, just about starting. So maybe I was already having wrestling conversations with people and they were talking about WWF, and I was feeling like the only one who watched WCW, so I'd kind of faded out of watching it. I don't know. I'm not sure of the exact timeline of when I stopped watching one. I just know when I the first WWF show I watched was Survivor Series. I remember that distinctly. So Hulk Hogan's the world champion. Wow. Who'd have thunk it? His toughest world title defense ever. I mean, what about all the ones he lost? Aren't they by default the toughest ones? And like, does that mean he's expecting to lose this one? Because he has lost previous defenses, so logically, if this one's tougher than those, he's going to lose it, right? Because he's the same, if not a little bit older. And therefore less physically fit and imposing. Who's undefeated at 79-0? I mean, that's a catastrophic match in 2024, isn't it? Knowing what we know about Chris Benoit, and we've just lost Sid as well. Like, under very different circumstances, of course. I'm not trying to compare the two before anyone makes that connection. But yeah, it's a sad match. Phone number is no longer active. I love how they cover up the terms and conditions, not the actual number. ICP and Vampiro. I remember this being a thing. So, Maskless Ray, Kidman and Eddie sounds like filthy animals, which were usually heel. But are they the heels in a feud with ICP and Vampiro? I mean, it's possible. They're quite charismatic, all three of them. I just see them as charismatic as heels. What is this generic music? It's probably network edited, isn't it? There's no way they didn't come out to ICP music originally. What a way to start a pay-per-view with the ICP. Idiot clown punks. Okay, maybe they are the heels. Or maybe that's just a contrarian fan. I don't know. Let's not judge off one fan. I didn't like you in Mexico and I don't like you now. I expected to like you differently in a different country, but turns out we're both the same exact person as we were in that other country. Shocker. Yeah, it's Filthy Animals music. I recognise this. I always forget he was Rey Mysterio Jr. in WCW, and WWE just dropped it. Yep, she's very much enthusiastic for at least one of these. Speaking of things that WWE changed, Kidman not wrestling in his vest and jorts. It just felt like it took away some of the magic when he started wearing wrestling trunks in WWE. Don't know about you guys. It certainly felt it to me. He felt less unique. Felt very genericized. I'm glad they put the mask back on Ray, though. Like, there's nothing wrong with his face, apart from the fact that he looks about 11 in 1999. But just unmasking him, in my opinion, was a mistake in the first place. So, yeah. I hope you're right, Braid. Let's see if WCW was still doing its thing with the undercard in 1999. Because WCW was always known for, like, the undercard being great, and then the main events maybe not so much. While WWF was kind of known at the time for the opposite being true. So basically, they should have put on a show at the same time, and then you could just watch the start of the WCW show, and then when it gets to the main eventers, switch over and watch WWF for a bit. Probably if it's a 3-hour show, like the first 2 hours you watch WCW, last hour you watch WWF, would have been a good mix. Making that switch would probably have made literally every pay-per-view in like 1997 to 1999 better. So the fans seem to be behind the Filthy Animals. Maybe they're the faces here then. Like I say, they were predominantly heels in their Filthy Animals run, but like not exclusively, so I guess they've turned face here to fight the evil clown rappers. There's a lot of people giving abuse to ICP there. It's quite the mini mullet Eddie's got going on there. He usually had a lot more of a mullet, to be honest. Why are we taking like 20 minutes just to get the match started? I mean, Ray's certainly having it up like a babyface. But one could say he's also having it up like a heel that's just enjoying the controversial crowd. But no, babyfaces that have the crowd against them wouldn't be doing what Vampiro's doing now. They'd just kind of do the shrug and smile like, it's a weird crowd, oh well. I'm still a good guy kind of thing. So yeah, I think ICP are the heels here. I'm confident. I'm going to confidently state. The crowd are going pretty wild for this. Can we get the match started though? That'd be lovely. That'd be lovely if we could like have a wrestling match at some point. Considering we've got 6, I was going to say 6 wrestlers. That's generous. 6 people employed by the company to be wrestlers. In a wrestling ring with a wrestling referee on a wrestling show, and we've not yet seen any wrestling. Here we go. Are we starting finally? Excellent. Here's a boot. ICP were like the original like Bad Bunny. Although they probably showed up a lot more actually. They were I was gonna say Logan Paul, but no, they showed up a lot more than Logan Paul. Who's a good comparison of like a celebrity crossover who actually like did it somewhat regularly for a while? I actually can't think of many. Probably Logan Paul is the best example, and Bad Bunny's shown up quite a few times. So yeah, they were kind of the precursors to that sort of thing. I can't remember if they were any good. It's seeming maybe not. But I don't know. They're not doing too bad, I guess. Oh, that's very rude, Edward. Did Eddie tag? I saw Ray tag. I'm guessing he just immediately tagged Eddie. He was quite low on that, wasn't he? Some of my absolute favourites in this match. I was a huge Vampiro guy as a kid. I loved Vampiro, and like, I don't think it's a particularly hot take to say I'm a big fan of Eddie Guerrero. Like, you know, loved me some Eddie. Ray's undeniable as a talent. So's Kidman. Like, not my personal favourites, but like, undeniably talented individuals. And then ICP are here as well. But yeah, this should be a fun opener. As long as ICP aren't dreadful. He is wasting a lot of time. There we go. Is Tony Schiavone suggesting they should have cheated more? Nice touch there by Eddie, just holding him in place. Like, could he have still moved towards Eddie? Yes. But, nice touch. Like, a little bit of detail there. Kidman's like, yeah, I'll fight you, but I'll also give you the chance to tag out because, like, Yeah, sure. Tag in the untrained rapper wrestlers. True. True, Mike Tenay. True. I'm trying to figure out what's going on with Violent J's legs. I can't figure if he's got nothing on his right leg under the knee pad and that's a tattoo, or if it's a patterned, like, pant leg, and the other one's a black pant leg, or is the other one, his left leg, an all blacked out tattoo? I'm leaning towards the left one being a leg and the right one being nothing, which is interesting. Kind of just asymmetry for the sake of asymmetry there, I think, which is fine. I'm just curious about it. Maybe this is 2024 me talking, but Vampiro doesn't look that strange. But maybe he did in 1999. Maybe he looked a lot more strange. I mean, especially when you consider who his tag partners are. He doesn't really look that strange, does he? Maybe that's what's making him not look that strange, is who he's teaming with. Oh, I need to see pictures of that, Tony. God damn it, brain. Has that picture ever surfaced? Does anyone know in the comments? Let me know. Let me know if you know where I can find that picture. Oh, I love Eddie Guerrero. That's amazing. Breaks him a pin by dropping to his knees and poking him in the eyes. I love Eddie. He might be a babyface in this match, but he's just always a heel. Always a heel, and I love him for it. That was great. This is what I do. I say it on you. Bosh. Casual as you like. I think Jay also kicked out, but sure. Remember the 619 when it wasn't the 619? When he used to just do it for the fun of it like that? I wonder who it was. I'd love to know the story, who it was who saw that and was like, that should be an offensive move. Like, that should be a you kick him in the face move. Whether that was a Ray call, he saw the potential for it to be used in that way, or whether it was someone like... Because as far as I know, he never used the 619 pre-WWE. So I wonder if it was someone like backstage at WWE called it. I don't know. Interesting. Again, anyone knows the story of that and a source for it, let me know. I'm not sure, like, putting links in the comments is a good idea, but, like, just tell me what, like, what the source is, and I can always search it up. What's that Vampiro got against Eddie? Go on, Kidman. Sort him out. Pay attention, Vampiro. You're fighting Ray. If you want to fight Eddie so much, just chuck Ray into the corner and just have him tag in. Like... That's what makes it... Oh, ADHD is a superpower now, is it, brain? Eh? By the way, speaking of wishing all the... Oh, yes! The Eddie cheating again, wishing all the resting in peacing that we're doing, obviously, because this is 25 years ago, and unfortunately, we've lost far too many of the people on this show. R.I.P. Bobby the Brain Heenan, of course. Like, what a... just human being in professional wrestling. Hard to sort of say what a manager or what a commentator, because he was so good at everything. Apparently he was a good wrestler as well. He just didn't really do that on the main stage. But yeah, incredible manager, incredible commentator. That's what I mostly know him for, is his time in WCW color commentating, and he's one of the best. One of the best snarky heel color commentators, like, ever. Considering we just came from yesterday doing a watch-along of NXT TakeOver where Byron Saxton was the heel colour commentator. This is quite the step up. This is a world record high jump up. Oh. Barely. Kicking Ed. I do the "this is what I do, I sit on you" joke, but "this is what I do, I sit next to you" would be more accurate for that leg drop. Kind of kicked him in the head a little bit, but... Oh, yep. Eddie Guerrero playing possum, unheard of. Nice. Where's Ray? Did Ray get taken out while I was talking and thinking about something else and focusing elsewhere? Oh my god. Go on then, Kidman. Bye, Felicia. The referee's lost this one. He's absolutely lost it. Kidman's not the legal man, ref. Kidman's not the legal man. Why is the referee counting? Eddie holding Vampiro in place again. Good touch, good touch. I like little details like that. Oh! Did he chin him there? Yeah, I feel like he might have even like cheeked him or something. What was the ICP dude doing in there, not breaking it up? That was crazy. He was just stood there like, I could have broken it up, but I didn't. Oh, Ray was down with an injury. Oh heck. God damn it, brain. Why is he too lazy to walk back? God damn it. He gets straight back up. Watch this. Oh, yeah, right in the mush, that knee. I heard rumblings that Kidman didn't have the best control over his shooting star press ever. And I think that's why he stopped doing it in WWE, wasn't it? Didn't he break someone's cheek or something? He might have broke Vampiro's cheek there. That was a knee to the mush with all of his body weight coming down. God damn it, Saturn. Saturn was always great comedically. Like, really underrated, because he looks like such a straight man, such a tough guy. And then he's just got this, like, comedic timing. What were they called? The Revolution, was it? I think the commentators might have said it, and I just wasn't listening. It's basically the Radicals minus Eddie plus Shane Douglas, so it's the downgraded Radicals. Hey! That guy was happy to be there, wasn't he? I mean, the crowd are certainly excited. That kid doesn't have a clue what's going on. Why am I here? Where's Stone Cold Steve Austin? I can't remember the guy with the pigtails' his name. I remember Lodi. Lenny, apparently. Lenny Lane? Maybe? I don't know. What? Classic WCW. Pinned someone who wasn't even in the match. Vintage WCW, that. Right, Cruiserweight title match. Like, yes, they've got a very gimmicky Cruiserweight champion at the moment, but I've no doubt this will still be a lot of fun, because that's what WCW does, right? The Cruiserweight division. That's the thing it gets right. Right? Right, guys? Was Kaz Hayashi, like, a big deal, like, in Japan before WCW or anything? Because, like, a lot of people I've seen appear in WCW, like, from overseas. I've heard of legacies in Japan and stuff. Kaz Hayashi, I don't think I ever have. I'm not going to start Googling things during the show, because then I'll miss most of the show, because ADHD, yay! But, yeah, I am curious. Oh, he's just going by Lenny. I'm sure it was Lenny Lane, right? Before he was just Lenny. I'm not sure I fully understand the significance of the lollipop gimmick, but nothing good ever came from North Carolina. Classic heel heat. Cheap heat, one might say. He's got another sign there. Show us the other sign, Lodi. I see you with two signs. I'm sure there was another sign behind it. Look at that massive lollipop. That's quite the gimmick. Well done, that fan. Oh, is it the West Hollywood Blondes one? A little pizzazz. They've already lost the, oh, what's it called? The little flowery thing you put on gifts. On, like, Christmas presents. I can't remember what you call it. But yeah, they've already lost that somehow. Lenny for intern, Lodi for president. Is that a Bill Clinton, Monica Lewinsky joke? Hello? Was Lodi's advice there, have you tried hitting him? He seemed to be suggesting hitting him, which seems like something we should have discussed before coming out, and also maybe something Lenny, as a professional wrestling champion, should probably know. Okay, we're off. We're really doing the gay jokes, are we? Okay. Let's just say it was a different time and move on. Because yeah, championship reigns for us rolls. Championship reign for us rolls on. Okay. Do you know, as much as the gay jokes don't land, that was just creative. That was pretty good. Like, my gimmick is that I prance around, so I will literally prance around to counter-attack an Irish whip. Although, can we not be rubbing, like, come on. Yeah, he did. Like, I don't mind stuff like that, except it's being used as, like, a joke, obviously. It's being used as a lol homosexuality kind of, and that's the problem. Like, I will take everything back if it turns out Lenny is actually gay and, just Effieing before Effie did Effie. And just, but I'm gonna say I doubt that's the case, and I feel like this is a derogatory gimmick. Hello? Oh, okay. Again, if it were a different gimmick doing some of this stuff, it'd be very entertaining, because doing the Scooby-Doo and Shaggy spot... Oh, look at that! Is that, is it Pac who does that these days? I don't know if I've ever noticed anyone else doing that before, so amazing that Kaz Hayashi was doing it 25 years ago. It's crazy. Rely on the fans too much. What does he get him in the ring kicking off with him? Charles Robinson's like, oh, Raggy? What happened there? Once he's moved out the way of one elbow drop, I would simply kick him. I wouldn't keep throwing myself at the floor where I think he's going to be. I would just stay on my feet and kick him. Seems a bit dumb to do it 3 times. Okay, that was nice. Look, this isn't going to be an all-time Cruiserweight Championship match, is it? But as long as it's passable, we'll let them off. Imagine letting thousands of people yelling abuse at you get under your skin, Tony. BYOB, bring your own blow pops. Why are they called blow pops? I guess just to be provocative. Because they're just lollipops, right? Like, there's nothing special about... There's not, like, a special brand of lollipop or something. Special, like, type of it. Like, so in the UK, we used to have these... I don't know if they still exist, but we used to have these things called, like... I can't remember what they were called, but I'd call them like a whistle pop. It was like, literally, it was a lollipop, but it was the shape of a whistle, and it was a functioning whistle. When it was, like, when you first opened it, it was actually a functioning, like, whistle. Where you could actually make the whistling sound by blowing into it. Yeah, so, I don't know. They don't look like them, though. They look like normal spherical lollipops to me. LodyPage.com, one more shameless plug, I'm guessing that says. Can't see the bottom word. Yeah, it's a weird one, this, because I don't know whether it's derogatory or not. I don't know whether to be uncomfortable with it, but it's 1999. My guess is yes. Like, this is this is still like the era where Canyon couldn't be like openly gay and stuff for risk of ridicule. So I doubt Lenny was. Canyon is definitely higher up the pecking order of professional wrestling than Lenny. I would say. So where was he before this, Mike Tenay? Tell us more, tell us more. Okay. Something about Japan. I should have been listening instead of telling him to tell me things. I should have been listening to the things he was telling me. Go on then, Kaz. It sounded like it was a very generic, in Japan kind of statement, though, by Mike Tenay. Which was this... I'm guessing maybe the New Japan partnership was over by now for WCW, so that's why they're not being specific. It's a very naughty boy. Charles Robinson sitting up and putting up the double peace sign then just looked like he was like at a party and everyone thought he was blacked out, and then he just sits up and goes, "No, I'm good." I don't know. It's funny how he did it. Wafting him with the signs. Just what we need in a cruiserweight title match. A very, very weak rear chin lock. Like, that does not look in the slightest bit impactful. Like, Kaz is selling as best he can, but the arm's just, yeah, not snug enough. There we go. It looks better now they're sat up, actually. It still doesn't look tight, but it looks better. There's no way Lenny believed that he actually landed a successful German there with that angle. Oh, near fall. Yeah, this is not the dizzying heights of like your Rey Mysterio versus Eddie Guerrero's, is it? This is just about fine, I guess. But it's not a vintage WCW Cruiserweight title pay-per-view match. Swing and a miss. Slides through. Nope, tries to. He's going to flip through again. Yeah, you really should. You're right, Tony. Good advice, Lodi. Oh, excuse me. I recorded this quite early this morning. So, excuse the yawn. It's no reflection on the match, honest. But yeah, great advice from Lodi. Get up, Lenny. And then Lenny did start to, I hadn't thought of that, and started to move. Okay. Yep, good advice. Oh, what's Kaz thinking here? Something flippy and spinny. Oh, is he going Frankensteiner? Doing that? Oh no, he's going on the outside. What on earth is he thinking here? I don't know. Lenny's having none of it. Lenny's having none of it. Oh, a Liger Bomb. Nice. Oh, it's a classic. Honestly, that gets done quite a bit in modern times. I don't recall that getting done that much back then. Very innovative couple of things in this match, despite the fact that the match overall is mid at best. What a maneuver! I feel like this match has slightly outstayed its welcome, if I'm honest. I feel like it could happily be over by now. I thought he was going to poison random him. Then I was going to say, we really are ahead of the time. Please don't say what you want. It's 1999 and people are expressing opinions that I don't want them to express. So don't say what you want. Nope, sit down, Lodi. Oh, he got him. Oh, okay. Thought that was going to be the finish. Skull crushing finale. Skull crushing finale, definitely ahead of its time. Get out of it, ref. I'm glad that was all he came out with you came all the way from the Japan for this. I was expecting something bad. I was like, I need to listen so I can persecute this if it's bad. Maybe I'm not the right person to be commenting on all the implied gay stuff in 1999. I feel like it's offensive, but maybe someone who's a bit more knowledgeable, i.e. someone who's actually LGBTQ plus, could weigh in on that. Because it's not expressly stated, but it's very much implied, isn't it? In their very subtle late 90s way. Oh, good. Of the main event, I'm glad it's Sting. I'm glad it's Sting we're talking to. Let's just not talk to Hogan tonight. I know that's beyond the realms of possibility. Not giving Hogan a chance to put himself over, but, you know. Sting next champ. I don't actually remember who wins this match. I don't remember anything from this show particularly. It's the Sting Millennium. I mean, it's still 1999 for a start. Also, I'm sure Millennium has two ends. You're just giving the entire last 1,000 years to Sting instead of waiting a few months and then declaring it the Sting Millennium. And either way, asking someone to own an entire millennium is quite the responsibility. You'd be quite old by the end of that. what happened last week. So is it too obvious to do the Hogan heel turn? Is this where Sting turns heel? Doesn't Sting have a random heel turn in WCW at one point? Nine? Really? I didn't know he had that many. I'd have thought like 4 or 5. That's wild. And have you been away? Or is he just... I think he's just hitting all his catchphrases and then leaving. I'm a big Sting guy. Like, Sting is the reason I watch professional wrestling. He will probably always be my all-time favorite just because of that. And I feel like that promo was quite underwhelming and quite nothingy. Felt weird. Ah, I got it right. They are called the Revolution. Oh, you know you're onto something big when you got Shane Douglas versus the Nasty Boys on a pay-per-view. Who are we supposed to be rooting for here? Like, who are we supposed to like here? That was not clear from the video package. Oh, is it only one Nasty Boy? Oh. Where's the other one? Where's Jerry Suggs? And what's going on with Hugh Morris's beard? Why has he decided it's going up his face? I guess to look different, to be unique, to stand out, but like some things there's a reason why it's unique, and it's because no one else would do it, because no one else is dumb enough. It's Friends thing. Pretty sure they weren't friends like a couple of years ago, so that's a really hardcore friendship, that. Are these supposed... Is Shane Douglas the good guys? Is this disingenuous, or is this genuine, like, babyface stuff? So it's those two. I know. Oh yeah, Benoit's got Sid Vicious. Did Malenko just leave Shane Douglas hanging? Probably not on purpose, but it's pretty funny nonetheless. Tony Schiavone with the cheap shot at the fan. Brutal. Regardless of how you spell it. Brutal. Hugh Morris and Brian Knobbs versus Shane Douglas and Dean Malenko. I mean, I like Dean Malenko. In the nuts, in the nuts. So Mike Tenay calling that outsmarted instead of a dirty, dirty low blow makes me think the Revolution of the babyface is here. Yeah, I think the Revolution of the face is here. That's crazy. What the hell is Shane Douglas doing as a babyface? He's got no business there. Go on, Jimmy versus the ref. We can have that going on as well. Let's go. He's got fans holding him. Oh, steps. Phrasing. Okay, so yeah, Bobby the Brain Heenan's on Team Jimmy Hart, so they're definitely the heels here. Okay, cool. Thanks for clarifying, Bobby. If ever there were anything more certain, it's that whoever Heenan's supporting is the heel. Yeah, I was going to say, the across the ankle would probably hurt more if they actually weighed anything. Can tell how little they weigh by the fact they didn't even notice it land on his ankle. Oh, heads. No idea. But one of the fans knows because it flew out into the crowd, I think. This match is like, it just feels very disarrayed at the moment. Like, it doesn't feel like good chaos. It feels like just like, I don't know, we're just winging this chaos. Wait, are they doing tags now? Wait, why have we suddenly agreed that we're doing tags? Right, this used to bug me about WWF shows as well. I don't think they do it so much anymore, but no disqualification tag matches. I've even seen, remember the Dudleys versus the Hardys in a steel cage in 2001 during the invasion angle? They were in a cage match and they were doing tags at the start. Now, that grinds my gears because why would there be tags in a no DQ match? But now, after a long period of tornado-ness, suddenly both quote-unquote illegal guys decide they're going to mutually agree to go and stand in corners. What? Makes no sense. I know the tornado bit was complete disarray and made no sense, but this makes less sense. They've managed to downgrade the sense-making. Why would there be tags? What's the referee going to do if you don't stand in your corner? He can't disqualify you, it's no DQ, just get in the match. Oh, to the eyes. I was going to say gouge is a generous word. He poked. He poked the eyes. There's definitely a difference between an eye poke and an eye gouge. Why are we having tags? It's bugging me. The match has settled down and is actually more watchable now, admittedly. To the eyes again. I'm not sure what the point of an eye poke cheat tag is if Shane Douglas is A, going to see Brian Knobbs coming. The eye poke is somewhat superfluous. And B, like, it's supposed to be the heels that isolate a face. But Brian Knobbs just came in with that unfair advantage. I mean, it's a no DQ match, so it's not really unfair, is it? But comes in with that, like, cheaty, like, naughtily acquired advantage. And then just immediately becomes the fall guy. Why is the referee stopping Hugh Morris now? There's no DQ. Have we just forgotten that it's no DQ? Like, seriously, ref, what are you doing? There's no rules. I don't understand why five experienced men, 6 if you count the fact that Jimmy Hart's out there and should know better as well and should be communicating this. At least 6, and there's probably a road agent somewhere. But let's say at least 6 experienced men in the wrestling industry, not noticing the logical flaw with a no DQ match having the referee stopping someone doing something, which is coming in when you're not the legal man. In a no DQ match where there shouldn't be any legal men, it should be tornado rules. How can I spot that, but none of these 6 can? Like, Like, so far, they had the brawl beforehand, but as long as they just didn't ring the bell, they could have just had that brawl before a standard tag match, and this could have just been a standard tag match. Like, what is the need for this to have been no DQ? That's what I don't understand here. What about this is a no DQ match? Someone tell the referee that it's legal. I'm sure Brian Knobbs was just saying throw him into the stairs, and Hugh Morris was like, nope, into the ring he goes. No, I think he means the next thing he does is going to be the finish, Tony. Generally, you don't declare that's it after you've hit your finish. You just pin the guy. Well, he did land. If he didn't land, that would have been very impressive. He'd just be flying right now. That wasn't flying. That was falling without style. Love a hot tag in a no DQ match. Well, there's no need to, because this is just a wrestling match currently. A straight up tag team wrestling match. Hey, nice. Oh, we're going no laughing matter. It's a nice moonsault for such a big boy. Why was Dean Malenko acting like he was in a schoolboy there? That's the man's finisher. What about that match was no DQ? That was the tamest no DQ match I've ever seen in my life. I don't know what to make of that. I don't understand the point of the stipulation. I don't understand really the point of the match, if I'm being honest. But, you know, you've got to fill time, I guess, on the card. But was there really nothing else they could have done? Also, Saturn guaranteeing a clean sweep and then immediately just being let down. Poor Saturn. Poor Perry. Excuse me. Like, it's so clean. He doesn't go over a shoulder. He goes perfectly over. Why was Dean Malenko, like, acting like he was in a roll-up? He'd just been hit with the man's finisher. It's bothering me, can you tell? Oh, okay. Yep. So it's Rick Steiner and Perry Saturn. Okay, this could be fun, actually. This match definitely has some potential. Bite me. Yeah. Okay, good one. Except when they're heels, and then they very much do. I like Saturn. I always felt he was quite underrated, especially in WWE. Apparently, the whole Moppy thing was a punishment, though. Like, which I get. I get if someone's done something that's against your, like, company ethos in some way, shape, or form. Which, let's not talk about WWF's company ethos too. Let's not analyze that too closely, eh? With everything that's come out since, but I get they might need, like, de-pushing a little bit, but why have it go on so long, and why have it be so public? You know what I mean? You just ruined someone who could have potentially been a good mid-card asset for you. I don't think he was ever going to be, like, main event world champion, but, you know, I don't know. Seems a bit petty to me. Detroit, what? I wonder how Rick Steiner felt about being called dog-faced for most of his career. And a gremlin. Like, none of his nickname is complimentary. Like, you get, like, Buff the Stuff Bagwell, you get Big Popper Pump Scott Steiner, and you get, like, other names that are, like, badass names, like the Badass Braun Breaker, this man's son, and the Monster Among Men, or the Monster Among Monsters, Braun Strowman, and, like, the Beast, Brock Lesnar, and then you get the dog-faced gremlin, Rick Steiner. How do you get landed with that? That's just rude, isn't it? The fact that the other guy wants to beat you is completely independent of whether or not you're nice to the fans, as far as I can tell, Brain. Bad point, badly made, and I don't get to say that to him very often. Oh, we've got news. Oh no, are we not going to get Buff Bagwell versus Alex Wright? I mean, Berlin. God, now what will we have for a main event? I guess we'll have to go with Hogan Sting as the main instead. Like, don't get me wrong with that sarcasm. I like both Alex Wright and Buff Bagwell. I'm not sure how I feel about the Berlin gimmick. They seem to kind of take a fun, over dancing goof heel and just intentionally make him very boring. And I don't quite know how to feel about that. Like, character changes are important, yes, but to intentionally make someone less interesting feels strange. One, two, is this on? This match has been going so far. Oh, so we're actually just subbing out Buff Bagwell. Weird. I thought you were just bigging up how personal of an issue it was. But now, just anyone can fight him, apparently. Interesting. Huh. Oh, one of their referees passed away. Oh, that's sad. Sorry, I was just listening to that announcement. Don't want to talk over it. Because I heard them mention the black armband and I'd noticed it on the referee's shirt in a previous match and was like, what's up with that kind of thing? And then forgot to ask about it out loud. But Mike Tenay just answered me, so thank you, Mike Tenay. Oh! Those steps are made of rubber. Did you see Saturn bounce off them then? You know you're in a fight when you're fighting a man and he fights you. Oh. See, this match is more extreme than the previous match and that was no DQ. What's going on? You know what's extreme? That mustache. Oh, Nick Patrick. I feel like that should have just ended the match. You just DDT'd him on concrete and it's just like a random high spot in the match. Is this no DQ? Nick Patrick's just following him around, doing very little. Did I miss the announcement that this one's no disqualification as well? Either way, it's a lot more extreme than that no DQ tag match ever was. There's a bad man. Whoa, that was a nice German suplex. Saturn got air. Boom. That looks like tapping to me. Like, I know he's not. I know he's pounding the mat to motivate the crowd to get behind him. But, like, you're gonna be, like, there's so many times when wrestlers do what could be interpreted as a tap. I know a tap is quite distinctive. Like, it's quite a, you know, like a quick multiple slap on the floor or on a body part of yourself or the opponent, depending on what you can reach. But, like, still, stop tapping. It's like a sweepstake going on backstage. How many times can Saturn submit without the referee calling it? And he's just, like, doing a running gag or something. This is getting silly. God damn it, Brain. I love Bobby the Brain Heenan on commentary. Some of the little lines he comes out with are so dumb, like some proper dad jokes and stuff, but they're just great when he delivers them. It is all the delivery. Yeet! Saturn was underrated as a flyer as well, like, you know, obviously he's never going to be like a cruiserweight guy, but, like, the casualness with which he does, like, a springboard like that shouldn't be understated. Classic. Never tried to leapfrog Rick Steiner. It's like trying to superplex Kevin Owens. Yeah, he did. I don't know why I said it like that. There was no meaning behind that at all. Oh. That's the Dead by Daylight. I'm pretty sure he said DVD, but it sounded like DBD to me. Yeah, that's the Death Valley Driver, I know. Yeah, I thought that's interesting. I didn't necessarily think it was over, but I was like, that's his finisher. I feel like that false finish was quite understated. That was like literally his finishing move. Haha! Bar Felicia. This has been quite a dominant display for Rick Steiner. There's been a bit of fight back from Saturn, but so much for that clean sweep, eh? I mean, it might be a clean sweep the opposite way. It kind of was, but it was also kind of a bit of a prolonged squash, to be honest. Honest. To be honest. No, to be honest. Yeah, it was a bit of a long squash match. Like, Saturn barely got any offense in. He got a DVD in. And he got that little brief flow where he did a dropkick and then a springboard crossbody. And then I can't remember anything else. Yeah, it really was all Rick Steiner. Who's blowing on a microphone? Here we go. If I were gonna turn heel, I would have murdered a man, says Hulk Hogan. And I'm gonna eat one vitamin. The audio's doing my head in. Not just the Hulk Hogan talking bit. Okay, so I want to question something there, which was Sting can turn his back on me. I want him at 190%. That's an oddly specific amount. But when I pin him, if he's at 190%, you shouldn't be able to pin him. The whole point of the wrestling match is to reduce that percentage of how healthy your opponent feels until you can pin their shoulders to the mat. That was a nonsense promo. I love how Heenan is just absolutely never on Team Hogan, no matter what. I'm with you, Bobby. Bobby warned us all, guys. I wonder what the deal was. Does anyone know why they did this? Was this just to, you know, a swerve, bro? Or was this like Buff was injured or something? Or travel issues or ill? I don't know. Oh, this is his first match. This is his first match and he's already getting his rug pulled out from under him in terms of who his opponent is. I hope it wasn't just a storyline thing. I hope there was a real reason. Not that I wish ill on Buff Bagwell, but I know he was fine after this. I'm just saying, like, it feels a bit scummy. It's his first ever match and they're just like, nah, we'll switch it. Did Alex Wright have the tools to pull off this particular gimmick? Like, is he that intimidating? It's a hell of a look. I'll give him that. It's like if the YMCA were a bondage club. Like if instead of a cowboy and a policeman and a Native American, they were just all like leathered up. It'd be a look, let me tell you. Is this Hacksaw Jim Duggan? Ugh. Oh, yeah, of course. Evil foreign heel. If anyone will make him speak American. God, I hope Berlin wins this match. The cameraman loves them two. Loves them two. That's like the third, maybe fourth time we've particularly zoomed in on those two audience members tonight. He's a big fan. He's a big fan, whoever that cameraman is. It's that guy there. You can see the blonde girl and the cameraman next to her. It's him. Do you reckon he got either their numbers? Referee having to explain to the lunatic Jim Duggan that you're not allowed to hit someone with a plank of wood in a wrestling match. Probably doesn't surprise him. Like, foreign heels selling the USA chant always tickled me. Like, what were they expecting? They're in America fighting some guy who walks to the ring carrying a USA flag. Old Glory? Is that his name? And, like, then they're shocked and appalled when the crowd chant USA. And I'm just like, eh. Shouldn't be news to anyone that America thinks they're the greatest country on earth at this point. Even in 1999, it shouldn't have been a surprise to anyone. There's definitely a change in the expression here. In fact, he's making a point of having changed his expression. He's gone from being very stoic to being a bit perturbed, a bit annoyed. Yeah, especially when your whole shtick has been being anti-America. Is Berlin going to get any offense in this match? This is how you put over a new very intimidating looking heel. This is how to get him over big time. Have him beg off within the opening minute against a old man. And then completely no-sell some of his offense as well. We're definitely doing a masterclass in how to get young talent over here in WCW. He's giving him absolutely nothing. Like, yeah, he's getting offense in, but Duggan's acting like it doesn't bother him at all. By the way, that poke in the eye was questionable as to how in the eye it really was, let's just say. Like, so far, even if Berlin ends up winning this match, it's not exactly getting him over as a big threat, is it? Get off my back. Spoken like a true babyface. Let me break the rules, referee. I feel like Alex Wright, for a split second there, wanted to dance and then remembered, oh no, I'm Berlin now. And then just put his arms up. There was a little bit of a hip movement. Like, when he stepped into position, like he was warming him up, ready to shake him and dance, and then was like, oh yeah, no, that's not my gimmick anymore. Duggan looks like he's just, like, lost wandering around the precinct, and there's people out looking for him to take him back to the home when he's storming around the ring like that. What the hell? Yeah, but why did Duggan, like, sandbag him so bad? There's something really off about this match. It's like Duggan's having a bit of an ego trip. Doesn't want to help the new guy at all. We're going stump puller? No. God, Duggan's having none of anything. And it's making the match rubbish. What's going on? Does anyone know? Is there a backstory to this? Did Jim Duggan just hate Alex Wright? Like, legit, I mean? Wow. And now Heenan's really putting the match over as a great wrestling match. I mean, to be fair, he'd be dishonest to do so in a genuine way. I love the brain. He's so good. Dumb jokes, man. But they're great. They're great coming from him. Hair takedown, is that German? And then to transition that into a bald joke about Gene Okerlund. Oh, magic. That's all he does. That's all he does. Because he can't wrestle, so he just does this a bit. This has been the worst debut match. Not through any fault of that man, by the way. Just the booking of it. Oh, the wall's doing something. But, like, in terms of getting the man over, in terms of the booking, how did the referee claim to not have seen that? The referee was looking straight at it. Ugh. This is the, you know, earlier in the show when I was saying, like, halfway through the show or just over, you should be able to switch to WWF and watch the latter half of the WWF show. This is the point where I take my chances and switch over, I think. Oh. That was the finish. A neck breaker. So can anyone figure out why this gimmick didn't particularly catch fire and didn't particularly work? I know I was questioning as he came to the ring, can he pull this off? Is he intimidating enough as a human being? But the debut certainly didn't help, did it? I hope I hope there was a legitimate reason for Buff Bagwell not being there. It wasn't just they were always going to do the bait and switch into USA. Because, yeah, I was going to say, okay, so Buff's fine. The Buff match would have been a lot better. Change the format. Make this match happen that's already happened. I hope it, like, shoot was, and then they just improvised. But now that he's there, I'm starting to get the feeling that he wasn't. Is he gonna just attack Jim Duggan? Oh, no. He's gonna hug Jim Duggan. Oh. Okay. Why is Jim Duggan mad at Buff Bagwell? He just got a payday that he wouldn't have had otherwise. It's not like Buff Bagwell was supposed to be there for him. Buff Bagwell was supposed to be wrestling the match. Oh, is it the West Texas Rednecks? Love it. At least he managed not to say a naughty word that time. Well done, Booker T. You're growing as a performer. Hulk Hogan, we're coming for you, good sir. So you got attempted 9-time tag champs, attempted 9-time world champ. There's a theme here. I don't think they did that on purpose, but yeah. It's got the London look, hasn't he, Stevie Ray? I always forget that. Oh, they're just belt flipping. Oh, yeah. See, I remembered Rap is Crap, but I forgot all about Good Old Boys. Banger. I'm a good old boy. Just mad because their wives left and their dogs died and their pickups are broke down. That is a phenomenal sign. If that man ever sees this video, well done, sir. Well, very unlikely, granted, but well done, sir. That is a... Oh. Just knocked something over, I don't know what. But that is a phenomenal sign. Oi, you're still wearing your belt, numbnuts. Referee's like, oi, belt. Sir, pass me your belt. I think the refs managed to get both belts now. Why are they not matching? I feel like they always used to be so coordinated, the old Harlem Heat. Hennig with the cowbell. Trying to get a cheap shot in. It's a hell of a hat. It's a hell of a hat. Okay, so this could be fun. I don't know, like, what the Wyndhams were up to in 1999 in terms of, like, in-ring. Let's find out. What they chant is something to do with Harlem Heat or the Heat or something, but I don't know quite what the chant is. Whoa! No thank you, says Kendall. Wow, Booker T giving him no space. Hennig cheating for no reason. Like, Kendall already had the advantage there. Right, I'm going to be real here. I don't remember Kendall Windham. At all. Like, Barry Windham, yeah. 100%. I don't remember Kendall Windham. Was he, like, not as successful as Barry, or is he just a blind spot in my wrestling knowledge? Like, oof. Let me know in the comments if that's just a blind spot for me, or if there is a massive difference between the careers of Barry and Kendall Windham. Why is that particular brand of low blow legal, by the way? Because it's clearly a low blow. It's clearly a knee to the balls. Except it's a balls to the knee, so somehow it doesn't count. It's so weird how the inverted atomic drop is just legal in wrestling. But if you just straight up need someone in the balls, the referee would disqualify you. Well, not in WCW, granted, but in somewhere... Right, Hennig, again, you're not needed to be cheating there. Just cheating for the sake of cheating. Oh, we've been doing RIPs, obviously Hennig. I don't know about the Wyndhams. I don't want to disregard them in case they have passed, either of them or both of them. But I also don't want to assume either of them's dead and wrongly. So if either of them has passed or both of them have passed, then rest in peace. I know obviously we've lost Hennig. I know it's 25 years ago, but it's crazy what percentage of this card are gone. Good old boys. Bosh. Oh, did Hennig do another cheap shot? I feel like the referee paused and was like, Stevie, don't forget to kick out here. Like, it really felt like it was a definitive pause before he went for the 3. Stevie, don't forget you're supposed to kick out here, my dude. Come on. Went to the eyes and Stevie Ray just fell over. Like, I get it. It probably hurts to be poked in the eyes, but enough to fall over when he's been standing up to being punched in the head. Ooh. That looks snug. Why does he just yell a lot? What does this mean? I've expressed this before that, like, I'm not the hugest Booker T fan in the world. I hate him on commentary on NXT. Can we just talk about that for a second? And I hated him when he was on Raw commentary. I hate him on commentary, basically, no matter what show. But beside that, as like a wrestler, I get he's talented, but he gives off daddy long legs on an ice rink energy. Like, he's always flailing his limbs around when he's doing moves, and I find it really distracting, and I don't love it. More cheating. I'm not in any doubt as to who's the faces and heels in this one. Like, some of the matches, it was a little less clear until we got into the match. This one, fairly obvious. Although I will say, they're good old boys. Why are people booing good old boys? They're not bad old boys. Very rude to be booing the West Texas Rednecks. Also, they called the West Texas Rednecks. Isn't Kurt Hennig from, like, Minnesota? I never clocked that before, and I've been aware of the West Texas Rednecks for a long time. I never clocked the fact, and I've also been aware of where Kurt Hennig is from. Excuse me, yawning. I've been up ages now, but you know sometimes when you just can't get rid of the yawns. I'm having that this morning. Oh, you fell a little early there, Kendall. Spinneroonie. Oof. Nope. Look at Kurt Hennig getting the cheap shots in again. Is Kurt Hennig setting a world record for most cheap shots by a manager in a wrestling match here? Like, quite possibly. Oh, we're going again? He doesn't even check if the ref's watching here. She's like, hey, you. Let me take a picture of you getting beaten up. I wonder how those pictures turned out in the ages before digital cameras, when you could, like, see how your pictures were. You just had to wait until you developed them. I know kids watching, Gen Z and what have you, won't have a clue what I'm talking about. But, yeah, once upon a time you used to just take pictures, and then you'd go and get them developed into, like, physical photographs, and that's when you'd find out if you'd actually taken a good picture or not. It's crazy, right? Especially when it's like at something like this where it's an action thing. Like, tourist photos, fine. Building ain't gonna move while you take a picture of it, so you're gonna get a good picture. But like, when you're trying to take a picture of a wrestler at ringside, like, it's probably just gonna be a blur, isn't it? Tony Schiavone just said Superplex like my gran says PlayStation. Like, he doesn't quite know what it is and is just guessing where the emphasis goes. Oh, they switched without tagging, even though they clearly could have just tagged. What heels? It's the most pointless heel thing ever. I hate it. When the referee's distracted and the heels, like, they swap places without tagging, but they're literally stood in position to tag. It's like the most pointless bit of cheating ever. And I absolutely hate it. It's like one of my least favourite tropes in all of wrestling. Because it's stupid. You could just tag. There's no advantage gained by that cheating. You've done it for literally no benefit, no reason. I don't know why it annoys me so much, but it always does. What a maneuver! He's only just tagged in. What you on about? No. It's been in about 30 seconds, if we're talking about Kendall. I didn't hear who we were talking about, to be fair. Booker T, yeah, it's been a few minutes. Yeah, like that trope's fine. I actually like that one. On the flip side, the referee missed the tag. The only thing I don't like about it is the referee only ever enforces it on baby faces. When the referee doesn't see the heels tag, he just accepts it. Even though the heels are notoriously, heels who notoriously cheat, and then the baby faces are notoriously more honourable in general, the referee will assume they're cheating and assume the heels aren't. Like, you either have to call it down the middle and assume everyone's cheating all the time, assume no one's cheating all the time, or that's right in front of the ref. What the hell? Why is that allowed? Yeah, or you have to actually side with the babyfaces based on track record. The only decision that doesn't make sense is the one the referees make, which is to assume the heels are honest and assume the babyfaces are lying. Just clubbed him on Ed. Just absolutely clubbed him. Just bonked him like a whack-a-mole. Yep. They've done the same spot again. Stevie's not having none of it this time. He's like, move, ref. Get out the way. Get out the way, ref. Get out the way. Move, ref. Get out the way. Why not? Oh no, referees now we're just allowing the tag, are we? Cowbell! Ha! Talk about ringing your bell, get it? Hey, the referee's in the crowd now, what's going on? 1, 2, 3. We've got a visual pin, that's a bad sign for the West Texas Rednecks. Oh, are they actually paying attention to the legal monies in this match? No way! Wow! They actually paid attention, that's crazy. I wasn't even going to question it. Wow, Stevie Ray recovered from being hit in the head with a lump of metal real quick once his music started playing. He was like the passed out drunk guy at the party who like suddenly hears his favourite song and just resurrects immediately. Isn't the word undisputed? I'm joking. I know what he was getting at. It's just the weird order of saying things. Bosh! Like, I mean, Stevie Ray's already recovering there, to be fair, actually. But he's still selling, and then, like, 3, and then, up, and I'm done selling. Yay! Very funny. So is Sid just started his own streak? Is he, like, really feuding with Goldberg here or something? Who's the person with the sign? That's the whole statement. A fake streak is a fun gimmick, especially considering the original streak that he's referencing was fake. Sid's promos were absolutely mental, but they were great. Rest in peace, Sid. The only thing... Right, I have one hope for the fact that Sid has unfortunately passed away, which is that people don't stop having fun with the half a brain promo, because that is still objectively hilarious. That's still objectively one of the funniest promos ever cut in professional wrestling. There's something more psychotic. Like, in WWE, he had, like, that psycho music, didn't he? Like, the heh, heh, heh. There's something more psychotic about this man coming to the ring to, like, a generic 80s bop. It adds more to the presentation than the cliche psycho music. It's like, this guy doesn't need intimidating music to be intimidating. He's just picked a song he likes. I've never seen someone step over the top rope as casually as that in my life. My goodness. Like, he's not the tallest guy ever, but I think he might be the leggiest. Like, he must have longer legs than, like, your Big Shows and even, like, your Great Khali's and that, because they all made such a big issue of, like, pulling the rope right down, step over it. He just kind of stomped over it. He just kind of quick marched over it. That was crazy. Crazy impressive. Let's see Chris Benoit do it. And of course, as is traditional watching these old wrestling shows, we're gonna stay clear of, like, the super serious stuff, and I'd appreciate it if we stayed clear of it in the comment section as well. Like, it's been done to death, and as much as it's a serious thing that should never be let go, like, it's an occupational risk of going back and watching old wrestling, is that you're gonna see certain people that maybe haven't turned out so great, and Chris Benoit is one of the absolute best examples of all time of that, and I think it's important to just not keep having the same rehashed conversation over and over again, have it ruin the experience of taking in an old pay-per-view and reliving it on an anniversary. Let's just accept that we're never going to look at that man the same. Not that man, that man. And then, you know, that's it as far as I'm concerned, you know. Okay. Look at Tony Schiavone with the psychoanalysis of Sid Vicious, of all people, by the way. If you're going to psychoanalyze anyone, might as well be a psycho, right? And again, let me just clarify. In character, like, I'm not belittling the recently deceased human being, Sid Udi? I don't know how you pronounce his surname. I'm talking about the character Sid Vicious. Is an absolute psycho. Yeah. Okay, that cell was great. That cell was great there. What just happened, Cell? That was so good. Ow, that hurt a bit, but oh my god, what just happened? Like, all sold beautifully. Yeah, I assume this is all leading to Sid versus Goldberg at some point. Otherwise, why have a fake streak? And why be referencing Goldberg? Nope. Gotta do all the this boy is bigger than this boy spots early in the match, haven't you? Like, it's like, I'm pretty sure it's mandatory. I'm pretty sure it's like, by law, required in a wrestling match if one guy's a lot bigger than another. No, I agree. He's probably got one, just like Sid has. Sid's hair is fascinating. The noodles. It's the same as like the Justin Timberlake meme. You could make the same meme of him eating his own hair of Sid Vicious. What? No, that's the opposite of what the expression's supposed to be. But I get what Bobby Heenan's doing. Like, you know, he intentionally flipped it. I get it. Before anyone like goes, oh, duh. Yeah, I know. That's you. That's what you sound like. Excuse me. Oh. Dragon Screw Leg Whip. The wrestling maneuver with the name I'm least comfortable with. Every time I say Dragon Screw Leg Whip, I assume in some way I've got it wrong. It just never sounds right to me. But it is right. It just doesn't sound it. It sounds like, in my head, it sounds like it should be in a different order. And then I analyse it and like, it wouldn't make sense in any other order. Like a Dragon Leg Screw Whip or something. It doesn't make any sense. But like, yeah, it just sounds wrong, Dragon Screw Leg Whip. I don't know. Am I just being ND as hell? Or does anyone else out there have like any wrestling moves or other examples in general of that where every time you see, hear, or say a word or phrase, it seems wrong? Yeah, it's right. What are they chanting? I can't tell what they're chanting at all. Like, I couldn't make out a single syllable in it, to be honest. It just sounded like, to me. Like, it didn't sound like anything. Ring Post Mania? Okay. Okay, Tony. Random, but sure. Is this match no DQ? So every single... I was going to say Radicals then. Every single Revolution match, except the no DQ one, has been quite viciously no DQ. When they've not been no DQ matches, but that one was, and yet they were making tags and being very polite about it. That's just vintage WCW, if ever anything was. That guy's got your back. Like, keep your mouth shut. That guy's like, yeah! Yeah, ref. Stop doing your job. Oh. Oh my god. I don't remember ever seeing Benoit do anything like that. Just caught him. Couldn't figure out how to transition him, so just put him down. Oh, he tried bridging and Sid was like, no, I'm rolling through, thanks. There's a lot of weird vibe in WCW where sometimes it really does feel like the two wrestlers involved aren't on the same page at all. Like that Jim Duggan and Berlin match was a classic example of that. But like then, why are two very experienced wrestlers like Chris Benoit and Sid Vicious struggling to connect whether there should be a bridge pinfall attempt on that German suplex or not? You know, like, it just doesn't feel right, and I can't understand why it's not right. He's not ginger, he's blonde. Sorry. Yeah. Eddie, I'm gonna yell, and when I yell, I'm gonna lift you and slam you, so jump. Got it. Alright, you almost saw him say it. It's weird how pinfall psychology has changed in wrestling. Because these days, you don't get a lot of pins in your average, like, pay-per-view match, except roll-ups and, like, proper, genuine false finishes. Whereas in wrestling like back then, you just got pins off moves that no one had ever won a match with. It feels like more. Like that Cobra Clutch Slam. That was never going to be a 3. It wasn't even a false finish. Like, no one in the arena and no one watching believed that was the finish. But there was still just a pin for the sake of a pin. And I feel like it's... So within, like, kayfabe, it's a psychological thing of... Well, not even a psychological thing. It's making them expend energy, isn't it? To kick out. Like, you know, you're wearing them down by making them exert energy instead of just getting to lie on the floor for a couple of seconds. So, like, it makes sense. You just... Maybe I'm wrong, but I feel like you don't see it as much. Like, pins for that sort of reason. I feel like it's generally... little roll-up exchanges and stuff early in match, and then false finishes. And that's mostly it. Like, signature moves, at least. They've already done that exact sequence before. A lot of that as well. A lot of sort of repeat. Oh, it's a weird way to sell getting kicked in the knee. If you'd have taken Benoit out of that shot, he just tapped. If you'd have taken Benoit out of that sequence, like, edited him out and said what happened, I'd have said it's just got, like, hit in the face or kicked in the chest or something. That, by the way, when I was talking before about not tapping, not slapping the mat because it looks like a tap, that was the most tap-looking thing I've ever seen. That apparently wasn't a tap. Why are you angry at the ref? That makes no sense. The referee didn't get him to the ropes. Indeed he is. Nope. We are going to get a clean sweep, aren't we? Because I feel like we're going to keep the streak intact. Oh, that's an unfortunate line, considering the timing. Oh! Yep, clean sweep. Clean sweep for the revolution. Hell yeah. Something gonna come of that? That feels like a moment something should come off. Saturn predicting a clean sweep, then all of them losing is pretty funny. Oh. All of those things. True. Goldberg DDP. Oh, it's the Triads, the New Jersey Triads era. I was about to say who's even the face in Goldberg DDP, but yeah, it's Goldberg. If it's New Jersey Triad era, it's Goldberg. Alright then. DDP and Goldberg. Should be fun. I'm a big DDP guy. I always was. Sting might be the reason I got into wrestling, but DDP was also one of my favourites as a kid when I got into it. So I'll always have a soft spot for those that were my favourites as a kid. DDP Bang. Buy him dinner, any mate. Oh, that's our lovely shirt / jacket page. That's lovely. Lovely and shiny. I remember as a kid being annoyed by the flipped over diamond cutter sign, but looking at it there, like diamonds traditionally when you draw them are longer pointy side on the bottom and shorter pointy side on the top, so it actually makes sense when you flip it. It looks more like a diamond. Goldberg. I'm glad DDP did get his flowers and got a couple of title reigns. I am glad about that. Because I could totally believe a universe where he never managed to break through the politics and get a reign or two. I'm glad he did. Did Goldberg get a second reign? Obviously, I remember his first reign. I don't recall him ever getting the world title again. Like, in WCW, I mean. Obviously, I know he got the world title and the universal title in WWE. But did he ever get a second WCW world title? I love the foam Goldberg. That's cool. These two, in a weird way, are kind of, like, exceptions to WCW. In the sort of the old boys club. I know DDP is not exactly young, but I wouldn't consider him part of the old boys club. He's quite young in terms of, like, being a wrestler. And Like, and these are the two that broke through and became world champions, other than Hogan, Luger, Savage, and Sting, and Flair. Like, for the longest time, that was it in terms of world champion options, right? Oh, the Giant, I guess, briefly. But he was already in WWF by now. Like, he broke through very briefly and then just kind of didn't again. Oh, and Nash. But Nash is in that old boys club. But, like, yeah, I feel like DDP and Goldberg are what I would consider to be two WCW guys, but not WCW guys with enough of a legacy to still be in the world title picture like Sting and Flair. They were like newer WCW guys who actually broke through that very intentional glass ceiling. Kicking the ref? I didn't put that in there. Who did then? He's dropped his quad. Look at all the weapons he's dropping. It's pretty funny. That's a pretty good bit. I like that. That's a good bit. I'm a fan of that. God's sake, Bray. That was great. That was such a good line. And then Tony Schiavone apologized for what? Laughing at it? I mean, why would he? What would he be looking at? He's fighting one man. I mean, for now, we're probably going to see triad interference at some point, but... yeah, it's crazy that he's 2 years in here. It's crazy. Get the mullet out. Here we go. Now we're playing ball. Get your mullet out for the lads. Let's go. Oh, God. Watch out, cameraman. I have higher hopes for this match than the main event, and I'm a big Sting fan, but it's Hogan, innit? That should shut him up. Oh, almost. No countouts in this one either. Look at the dent in that chair. I know the big boys, but who did that? Oof. Goldberg, we can see you dangle a bit coming out your trunks. Oh, Nux! Nice. Why not just pick him up and diamond cutter him then? We've literally seen him lose. But you're right, usually, yeah. Usually we don't. Has Goldberg still only had that one loss against Nash? That's crazy. That was Starrcade 98, so that was 9 months ago. Thereabouts at this point. Weird how there's, like, no talk around, like, the second streak. Sid can reset his streak counter, but no one's talking about how many matches in a row Goldberg's won, or what his general win-loss record is, because I know it was heavily, like, kayfabed to the 173-0, but, like, it must be over 201 now. Sure, that's worth mentioning every so often. Yeah, what did Paige get the referee to go and do? But you will beat him with a rear chinlock, of course. Of all the things to be checking for, like, when you've been allowing all sorts of nonsense throughout the night, checking that it's a choke. Here we go. Here comes the fire up. I was going to point out now, we've got like 25 minutes left. So the main event's not going to be a long match. We know that for sure. Because this match isn't even finished yet. I'm okay with that, to be honest. I don't want to see Hogan and Sting try and go half an hour. Like, you know. I don't want to see that. He's a little afraid. I want you guys to know ahead of time, because I don't remember what happens on this show. I want you to know ahead of time, if Sting turns heel on Hogan, I'ma cheer him. He's not a heel as far as I'm concerned in that scenario. Also, Goldberg's foot was under the ropes there. Anyone who betrays or beats down Hulk Hogan is a good guy in my opinion. Here they come. Here's the boys. With tools. Tools, apparently. Oh, what did he just break over his... Don't know what he just broke. What was that? It shattered? Referee's supposed to see none of this, is he? Well, doesn't matter now, I guess. Here we go. The man! Oh my god. Was it glass or something? Goldberg's bleeding from the neck. I bet he did when he draped DDP's arm across it. Nothing worse when you've got like a fresh cut or gash like that than like just something touching it. You start to go, ugh, sting. Not the main eventer sting. Like, it stings. What was it that Canyon used? Because it seems it might have been real glass, Crimea River. If it was glass. That line about him weighing in at 800 pounds was hilarious. Like, what? What was that? Is that? It looks like a microwave plate. You know the metal disc you get in a microwave that you put your food on so that it spins round. Look like that. I wouldn't put it past WCW to just not have prepared something, and they're like, "Oh, we need something breakable. Like, this is supposed to be a big shatter the thing spot. Just take the plate out of the microwave. We'll figure it out." Hit him hard though. It's thick glass there. I could fully see that happening in WCW. Like, not gonna lie. The big one. Or maybe we won't. Like, I'll get you. I'm gonna get you one way. So, are they all baby faces and we're just waiting to see which one turns heel here? Is that the story? Or is Lex supposedly the heel here? And more importantly, why were none of his so-called friends helping him? Oh, here he is. Hey, Justin Thunder Liger's in the crowd, and he's the US champion, apparently. That's wild. What happened to Sid? I'm not gonna talk over this much. Like, I love this. That's my childhood. You know, like, having the main events introduced like that. That's my childhood. Love it. I was thinking, though, throughout it, has there been, like, can you think of anyone else who was just given, like, a God-given gift, for want of a better term, in terms of that voice, and it's just like, oh, I can make a whole career and living and whatever off that, just by sounding awesome. What's your job? Oh, I talk because I sound awesome. Fair. Myrtle Beach loves Sting. Okay. Yeah, like, he talks, like, he probably says about 6 or 7 sentences, and probably gets paid for that more than I've ever been paid in any particular year of my life. Just for sounding cool. Crazy. They've bleeped out the WWF Worst Wrestling Federation sign. That's hilarious. I don't think you can legally be held accountable for a sign that a fan took to a show by another company 3 years before you were forced to rename. Yeah, probably, yeah. Handshake? Hulk Hogan built this place. That is disrespectful to Sting, to say the very least. And also, if you're going to make the argument that Hulk Hogan built WCW, he did it by turning heel and betraying WCW. That was the big thing that escalated WCW to a new height. It's a decent looking crowd. Wait, why have we got Bret Hart? What's going on here? What? What is this? Having an argument now whether it's a Scorpion Deathlock or a Sharpshooter. Why is Bret Hart coming out here? Full entrance to wish them both. What is that? That's nonsense. What? That's the weirdest thing. Right, we've got 15 minutes left on the show, so this ain't going long. This is not going long, and that's fine. I don't want to see a 20, 30-minute Hogan match in any year, really, but definitely not 1999 onwards. Like, definitely not by now. To be honest, no era, because 80s Hogan, that would have, like, however long the match is, that's going to be that length minus 5 minutes of generic heel beatdown, and then 5 minutes of Hulk up and win. Like, so I'm, you know, like, I never want to see a half-hour Hulk Hogan match. That's never interesting, in my opinion. Maybe during the Hollywood, maybe during the NWO era, it could be a bit better, with him doing a bit more varied stuff. The thing is, they still have to fight. They might be all friendly, but they still have to fight. This is like... Why are they having a little argument? Like they're not just supposed to fight here. It's weird. Again, two very experienced veterans don't seem to understand the idea that they're supposed to fight to win the world title or to lose it. Like... Come on, I'm rooting for a Sting heel turn and win here. I don't think this is that's what happens here. But I'm rooting for it nonetheless. So somehow that would be more satisfying than a straight up babyface win. I can't believe Sting at this point though was an 8-time world champion. That's crazy. I actually don't know. That's telling me, like, I've dramatically underestimated how many world titles Sting won in his career. So I genuinely don't know the result here because I can't even, like, base it on, oh, yeah, I know he won a 9th, so maybe it was here. Because I thought it was, like, 4 or 5, maybe. And I'd still have struggled to name all of them. Like, probably one from Flair, the one from Hogan at Starrcade. Maybe another in the Flair days somewhere. I don't know. I genuinely can't name them. I certainly can't get up to 8. That's crazy talk. Especially considering he only won his first one at, like, what, the start of the 90s? Maybe the very end of the 80s? I think it was the start of the 90s. I think it'd been, like, 1991, right? So in, like, 8 or 9 years, he's won 8 world titles. I can't place them. I cannot place them. What do you mean as usual? Hogan spent most of his career being beaten up. No, Sting's wearing his dollar store face paint tonight. Sometimes Sting's face paint seems to come off so easily. Look at the state of it. I'm going to say like one of them and not the other. In case people aren't clear on that. Oh. Suplexing Sting is always a good idea, right? Yeah. I love that no-sell. Sting, for me, is the absolute king of no-selling. I love a Sting no-sell. As much as anyone has ever no-sold anything in history, I think Sting is the king of it. He knows when to do it and how to do it. It's beautiful. Also, once you've seen Hogan in pants, I hate seeing him go back to the gruds. One thing I am glad about when he had his run in WWE after this, and like with the NWO, but then becoming red and yellow, was he stuck with long pants. I don't want to see a man that age in his underpants. Looking at you as well, Ric Flair, just saying. Now, there comes a point where you should probably start wearing long pants to wrestle if you're going to keep wrestling. Although Ric Flair would look really weird in long pants, long tights, right? Yeah, there was talk about can Sting turn his back on you in this match. Why would he? And why would he expect you not to attack him? Like, you're literally opponents. I don't know. That whole interview segment before with Mean Gene and Hogan was so weird. Again, Lex Luger, who's making the accusations, is very experienced as well in this industry. And Hulk Hogan and Sting are very experienced. Bret Hart seems to be somehow involved. He's very experienced. Mean Gene knows the deal. He's been around a long, long time. He's very experienced. And yet, none of these people involved seem to understand how wrestling works for the purposes of the storyline. You can't trust him. Why? Because he's going to fight him? Because he's going to beat him up? That's his job. I mean, this seems a little bit rude, honestly. Strangling him with a cable. But no one's questioning it. Everyone's just like, yeah, that's Hogan. Seems about right. Can't have long left now. And we've got to have, like, the aftermath, you know, the celebration or whatever happens after the match. So, I reckon this match has got, like, 3-4 minutes left in it. And we're in a rest hold. Yeah, but to be fair, it's all been gone since the first minute. Good observation there. Yes, he does have quite big arms. He does seem a bit leaner than in, like, his Hollywood days, though. Like, his arms don't seem as big. There's the man with the largest arms in the world, allegedly. Self-professed. I fully believe that as a child, by the way, because there's no way that someone could, like, lie or exaggerate in professional wrestling, especially not a heel. So it's just like, oh, cool, that's a fact. Hulk Hogan has the largest arms in the world. Who knew? Turns out it might have been a lie, guys. This is why when, like, we shouldn't have held it against, like, the kids that liked John Cena. Because kids just believe what the wrestling company tells them to believe. And to like what the wrestling company tells them to like. And that was John Cena. You know, like, kids would have been like, why is he getting booed? He's a good guy. And he wins a lot, and that's a good thing. That makes him the best. You know, like we were all dumb kids. If we got into wrestling as kids, of course. I mean, we were all dumb kids anyway, but I'm talking, like, as a wrestling fan. If you were a wrestling fan as a kid, you were a dumb wrestling fan, you know? And you quite possibly still are, and I quite possibly still am. But, like, different levels of it, you know? We love a near fall off a punch. His shoulder's off the floor very clearly there. Why are you not even bothering to lie flat, Hulk? You're going to kick out anyway. You don't have to get yourself over with it. It's not like it's the finish. Love a Stinger Splash. Look at where he used to take off as well. He's like a third of the way across the ring, like, diagonally when he takes off. Absolutely flies, does that man. Oh, God. Yay, Hulk up in 1999. It's Bigfoot. Where? Is he winning interference? Is he reforming the NWO? Interesting. So, visual pin for Hogan. That means Sting might win. Yeah, what is this all about? Just look how he slid the ref! Of course, of course. Never mind clean, you can't even beat Hogan unclean. Uh-oh. Now Hogan's no-selling the diamond cut. Here we go. It took his time, didn't it? Yeah, what is the deal here? Just got Bret Hart fighting DDP here for some reason. Got Sid. What the hell? What is happening? Yeah, who is that? That is Lex Luger. What? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh my god, did I call it? Because I genuinely don't remember this. Look down, Hogan. Yeah, Sting! Come on! Charles Robinson clearly saw all of that, but doesn't call for the DQ, just calls that instead. But yes! Heel Sting! Oh, I'm excited for the future watch-alongs of this year now. Yes, mate. Did someone hit Luger in the back with a pie? It looks like someone hit him with a pie in the back of his shirt. Hell yeah! It's upside down, mate. Mate, it's upside down. That segment where Sting was just laid out in the darkness should have given it all away. Like, he clearly just lay down, right? Okay. Well, I enjoyed that show overall. There was some lulls. There was some lesser good bits. But overall, yeah, I'd say that was a good show. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. I'm curious to know what you think, how much of it you remember. Do you remember Sting having 9 world title reigns? Because I don't. Leave a like if you enjoyed, and subscribe if you're new here, share with your friends if you think they'd enjoy this little trip down memory lane. But for now, all I have left to say is thank you very much for watching. As always, I've been EBEZA, you've been amazing, and I'll see you next time.